guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're finally getting to the final video on our trailer rebuild. Stick around.
So as always guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We're putting out a bunch of content and we got all kinds of new stuff coming up you won't want to miss.
So here's the deal, we're finally going to finish this thing up. We got the inside done the way we want it. We may make some adjustments, but now we're going to get to the outside.
So we're going to get this thing completely painted, all the metal, all the wood and trim and everything, and we are going to redo the door because it's looking pretty dingy. And then what else are we doing?
Then we're going to mount some signs on the outside so people will know what this thing is.
All right, let's get to work.
All right.
So everything in this trailer is completely waterproof. The roof we put on held up great. So the last thing to do for waterproofing is just to caulk around these vents, and we used regular DAP silicone. And I think it'll work pretty good. So over the last several years, with all the rain and all the weather we've had, especially being out in the desert, this black frame has got super rusted and nasty looking. So we wiped everything off to get all the loose dirt off of there. Then I just cut a piece of cardboard that fit in between the frames to try to protect as much of the wood that I could. I wasn't too concerned about getting black on there because we're going to paint over it anyway, but we use this gloss enamel. It looks really nice and it's supposed to hold up real well because it's made specifically for metal. So the door of the trailer over the last several years has gotten real worn looking, and it's kind of warping a little bit too. So what Dad did is he took it off the trailer and he's actually going to put different hinges on there, and he reinforced the door with a few more studs on the back, tightened up all the screws on the front, and then he sanded it off and he sprayed it. And it took him a little while to do this because this door had a lot of wear on it. It's been sitting out in the weather for several years.
Alright, so the frame's all painted. It's still got to dry. We're going to use the critter sprayer to paint this entire thing kind of a dark brown color, and then we're going to use the roller on the trim. So my next task is I have to go and tape everything off that we don't want brown. That's going to take a while.
So when I did construction, my actual trade was caulking and waterproofing. And in that particular trade, you don't get to touch any tools for about 2 years. So I spent 2 years just taping and prepping. And I'm regretting that now because now anytime there's tape to be done, Dad makes me do it. So I went around and taped all the drip edge on the top of the trailer, making sure we didn't get any paint on there. Then I taped up the frame. Now the frame was kind of a pain because it's up against the wood, so I just taped as close as I could and hoped for the best. Luckily, it turned out pretty good. This took about 2 rolls of 2-inch tape and like 2.5 hours. Dad used a polyacrylic exterior finish and he put about 7 or 8 coats on the door to make sure that it's not going to warp and it'll hold up during the nasty weather out here in the desert.
Alright, so we got the trailer completely prepped. We got everything taped off, we got all the hinges, everything we don't want to be brown is ready to roll.
I am using a Glidden exterior latex paint, water-based, and I'm going to be using the critter gun and we're going to see how it works. Here we go.
Let's get to work.
So as I'm looking at this footage, it actually looks like the critter gun's doing a pretty good job. And it kind of didn't. The critter gun is designed for finishing, right? Not painting. So if you look real close on the upper left-hand side of the trailer right there, you can see a lot of streaks, a lot of light spots, and it would have taken us 4 or 5 times going around this thing to give it a good flat look. So we decided to use the roller instead, and I'm glad we did. I think it went a lot faster. I rolled the entire body of this thing, and then Dad came around behind me with the paintbrush to get up close to the trim, get all the little fine spots that I couldn't hit with the roller. For the trim, we decided to go with like a flat white or an off-white color, mainly because it's what we had, instead of having to go buy new paint. So I went around with a paintbrush around the hinges and around all the kind of fine little areas that we couldn't get with a roller. And this trim, it looks nice, but man, it has a lot of texture to it, so it took a while to get the paint in all the different spots. And to be honest with you, I think we'll probably have to go around it one more time, because as we're working on this thing, I'm seeing a lot of little light spots that we missed. Once we had 6 or 7 coats of clear on the door to make sure it's weatherproof, we put some nice new hinges on it. Now, one thing to remember when you're mounting a door is you want to have a little bit of a gap at the bottom. So we cut a piece of trim and put it under there as a shim just to make sure that it opened and closed freely. Then we used some cedar pickets as the trim. We wanted something different than what was on the rest of the trailer, and I think it turned out really nice. We just cut those things to size, drilled some pilot holes so we made sure we didn't split them, and screwed them on.
Alright, so the trailer is completely painted, it's dried, it's been a few days, so now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out where we're going to mount all the signs on the front of the trailer, and also we're going to put a sign on the back so people driving behind us as we're on the road, they can see what we do.
So this actually took a lot longer than I thought it would. Dad and I argued for about an hour and a half about whether they should be uniform or random, and I think we can all see who won that argument. But we decided that we just wanted to have some pretty simple signs up there, and we wanted to make sure that we could make on site most of what everybody sees. We might take some higher end signs like the Hang 'em High or the Batman just to show people what we can do, and then they could special order them. But for the most part, we want to be able to give them what they see on the front of the trailer. The last touch is a nice looking bold sign so people driving behind us can see what we do and maybe give us a follow.
All right, guys, there it is. We are ready to roll, man. This thing came out great. We did all the painting, all the trim around the windows and the edges and all of that. Then we picked out the signs that we thought would be applicable for where we're going, and I just love the way it came out.
This thing came out so much better than I thought it would. You know, the way we got it organized in there, there's plenty of room, more than I kind of thought we would have, and I'm stoked to get out on site. So, we did not have time in this video to go out and carve on site, but that will be coming soon.
We'll definitely take this thing out. We'll do some filming and actually interacting with customers and carving right there on site. Do you guys have setups where you're carving on site? We'd love to see them.
Yeah, you can email them to us, Ryan@makeitwithsign.com or Eric@makeitwithsign.com, and leave some comments in the comments section. Let us know if you are or if you're planning on going out and carving on site to try to make some money.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.